tests. In the meantime, we're looking at the server machine downstairs, and we've got an instance of Unreal running. All the plugins have been loaded. There are a few control rig plugins that didn't activate on my server that are activated here, but I'm not going to worry about that now. What we want to do is we want to try to get these two instances of Unreal connected, right? So I'm just going to try and minimize this a little bit so we have the two that we can sort of view side by side. And then we'll continue the tutorial and see if we can, well, not really a tutorial, me sort of experimenting as I try to set this up. The first order of business is to have that connectivity active and running, right? So I'm debating whether or not to have the UDP set up in advance, but you know what? Let's just take it one step at a time. So we've got our multicast, our multi-user plugin set up. That's cool. So let's go to project settings. So let's set this up in the server first. So I'm going to maximize the server computer downstairs, and we'll go to not editor preferences. Come on, yeah. We're going to go to our project settings, right? And where are we now? That's that. And there we go. Okay. So which plugin do we want to adjust first? Oh yeah, okay, so we're bringing up the multi-user UI. So we're gonna head down here to where we've got our plugins, and I'm looking for the multi-user editing, right? So what we wanna do is, hey, cool, already default on, enable the multi-user toolbar. I don't want to auto connect, but I do want to set up the display name for the server, right? So this will be Alkang art, and then I'll do yeah, well, let's just name the thing main, right? Actually, I think I'll leave it at that, and we'll name the username upstairs my son's name, because we'll be doing that anyway. So avatar color, let's pick something cool. Oh, we got a bit of a lag there. Oh, there you go. So I don't know. Let's go Hulk green, shall we? Okay. So that's good. And again, there's a little bit of a lag. That's okay. And that will make sure that we have the multi-user interface set up inside of Unreal. Okay, so we've got that. And I think in the same window, we can just pop down to UDP Messaging, right? So in here, we need to track down our unicast endpoint. So to do this, I'm going to just click on the command window or click on the Windows key and type in CMD for my command prompt. And we'll bring this guy over here. Actually, I think I'll do ipconfig. I'll do it over here. So the VPN's disconnected at the moment. I think I'll just grab the local IP address here. That's kind of cool. It's the router's masking the actual IP address. So we're going to use the that address there, which is the 192.168 address, and we're going to punch it in here, and we're going to be careful not to overwrite the zeros. Okay, so that is 168.1.30. That's cool. And that's just using, it's not going to be using the virtual adapter. It's just using my LAN adapter. Now, it should default to the LAN adapter anyway, but If we were using our virtual adapter, that's where we'd be putting that number in there, right? So we can just click off this guy, right? And it's off and running. Let's do the same thing for our client, right? So here we are. We're going to go to edit and project settings. So first we're going to set up our multi-user settings inside here. Whoa, it's laggy. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where we've got our plugins, and we're looking for the multi-user editing. We might come back later for the live link component. So we've got the multi-editing user toolbar, and for the display name, corner art. And we'll give him the color blue. And then we'll also connect up Noah at some point. All right, so there we go. Validation mode, yeah, all that's looking good. We'll go to UDP Messaging. And again, be careful not to overwrite the port number. Just should have that in our clipboard. Paste that back in. That's cool. Just want to flip off this and then come back to it. Make sure it's saved those changes. Yep, that's in. There we go. So we're set up on both entities now. So let's set up a server using our server. So in here, we should have, yep, there it is. Under Browse, the multi-user settings, right? So let's pop in here for a quick sec. Oh, no, we don't want that. We set that up already. So we want our launch multi-user server. So it's launching that server, and then we should get a window where we can create one. Oh, I believe that window stays open in the background. So we've launched the server. Now we can go into our session browser. This is what we're after. Now, it's looking for a multi-user server. We just launched one. So in theory, it should find it. Methinks it's taken too long just to find that session. Okay, let's shut this down for a sec. Let's try launch it again. Launch a server. Boom. Off it goes. This is the way I wanted to do it anyway. So there are two ways of doing it. You can launch it in the drop down, or you can do it here. Start transport. Failed to create unicast socket on there. You know what? Okay, so let's kill this. Let's stop that. Oops. No, let's kill that. Shut down the multi-user server. There we go. Let's close this for a bit. So what we'll probably do is we'll head back to our project settings, right? Head down to where we have our plugins. The UDP messaging. Here's what we will do. We'll go to our let's reset this to the defaults. Should take a second. And let me just check my network adapters here. I think one thing that you learn after a while is it becomes view hardware and connection properties. It becomes really sort of important to know what your network cards are doing, and understanding how to be able to investigate your connections inside your PC. Let's see. Go back to this. So we've got our, yeah, that's the correct physical IP address. We got the Fortinet, and yeah, it's not recognizing it. Don't quite know why, but, and this hasn't reset to default. So let's just punch these guys in, right? So 0.0.0.0, right? And I'm just going to double check to make sure it didn't mess with my multi-user editing setup. So those are set. Let's go back to our multi-user editing. That's okay. Okay, cool. So let's try this again. I'm going to pop over. This time I'm going to just open up the session browser. And in here, I'm just going to click Launch a Server. Let's see if we get any errors. No errors there, right? So that tells me it found the network adapter, fine. And now we can pop in here and create a session, right? So let's do that. Create a session. And I'm going to call this sort of session project setup, right? I'm not sure if it's going to remember this or not. Actually, hyper setup, right? Something like that. But let's give it a go, right? So we've got that session started. And that would be me. So I guess I wouldn't have to, unless... Oh, it's creating the session, attempting a remote connection. Now, by that same token, I'm going to pop in here and I'm going to head on over to where I've got the multi-user utilities, and I'm going to open the session browser here on the client machine, right? So straight away, it's found that session, right? So I'm going to right click and join it. Failed to join, invalid version of dev control rig. Do you have an extra plugin enabled? It looks like it doesn't like the control rig. So let's see if we can. We might have to disable that. Let's head into our plugins menu. Let's go to animation. Well, there you go. That's what happens when you try to launch a beta version. Live link we want to play with. So we'll disable the control rigs, right? Let's do that. Is it just me or did it not? There we go. So those two are gone. We got to restart. That'll be all right. Let's see if we can restart this. So this is how you get a LAN multi-session Unreal project working with multiple artists connected to it. The only thing missing is our soft ether connection and our UDP endpoint unicast endpoint put in, right? Which we get from our virtual VPN adapter. Right? So that's pretty cool. Next, we have to kind of consider connecting Maya up using live links. So that'll be the next kind of interesting challenge. Wonder if I have a ready-made character I can just chuck at it. What I might do is I might use the Unreal Mannequin just to remove, you know, if something goes wrong, at least it won't be anything unexpected or, you know, bespoke to, you never know if a bespoke rig is causing you any kinds of issues. Hey, I'm getting a hello. What is that? Really Missed Pro. Hey, how's it going? I don't know who this is. But obviously you know me, so. Okay, so I'm just waiting for Unreal to launch there. I'm just going to do another quick speed test just to see if I'm in good shape for today's lecture. Hopefully I am. Oh, we got good download speed. I'll check my upload speed in just a second. Now, it's probably going to take a little while for Unreal Engine to start up again because I'm working off a cloud drive. Can't wait to get my Perforce server set up. So I'll leave the stream at that. No sense in having you guys wait around. I will make the connection and I'll jump back on and show you guys the results, and we'll talk about our LiveLink connection. Looks like my upload speed is working pretty good too. So I should be okay for today's lecture. Okay,